The class have fun at the ski lodge learning how to ski, but Teiga refuses to learn and decides to go sled instead, even though Ryuji suggests she get Kitamura to teach her. Ryuji feels that Teiga seems to be acting strange around Kitamura, and Teiga tells him that she had drinks with Kitamura while Ryuji was sick with the flu. Meanwhile, their class gets into an argument because they want to prevent Maya from getting close to Kitamura, and the class are working to get Teiga and Kitamura together. Ami thinks they are all idiots. Meanwhile, Ryuji is disappointed that after one day at the ski lodge he hasn't been able to talk to Minori to understand her feelings. She notices him leaving the dining hall himself and goes to meet him, and she tells him she wants to resolve an argument with their classmates so that everybody leaves the ski lodge happy. Minori also feels that Teiga's feelings for Kitamura are not that strong, and Minori shows him a hair clip that Teiga gave to her. As Ryuji talks with Minori, he feels that it will be impossible to understand her feelings and confess to her again. A depressed Ryuji wants to stay in his room, but the other guys in his class try to cheer him up, and he explains that Minori rejected him on Christmas Eve. The guys decide to help Ryuji and they head to the girls' room, but find it empty. Suddenly Teiga appears and the guys have to hide in the closet. But when the other girls appear, Ryuji accidentally takes Teiga into the closet as well. The girls gossip together and Ami reveals to the other girls that Minori rejected Ryuji over Christmas. Minori tells Ami that it's none of her business. But Ami feels that Minori feels guilty about what she did, and the two get into a fight. The girls eventually leave, and the boys don't understand what happened. Teiga and the boys agree to never speak about what they heard. The next day Ryuji sees Ami playing in the snow, and Ami reveals she had an argument with Minori and she feels guilty trying to figure out what the other girl is thinking. Teiga and Minori arrive on a sled and knock Ami over, and Ami accuses them of hitting her on purpose. The two restart their argument and they fight each other. During the fight, Minori loses her hair clip and Teiga goes to find it, but she gets lost and stuck in a blizzard. Then Ori, Ryuji, and Kitamura work together to try to find Teiga when they become worried for her, and Ryuji finds Teiga on the hill badly injured. He carries her back, but a confused Teiga thinks he is Kitamura and confesses that she has feelings for Ryuji. The class returns from their trip, and Ryuji can only think about Teiga's accidental confession during the trip. He accidentally wakes up during class saying Teiga's name, and the rest of the class cover for him. Teiga has not been going to school since the accident, when her mother picked her up from the ski lodge to take her away. Ryuji then meets with Kitamura, and asks him to pretend to be the one who saved Teiga to avoid the accidental confession. Later the boys go to a ramen shop together to talk about their lives after high school, and they see Minori working there. After eating at the ramen shop, Ryuji walks past Teiga's old place and wonders how she is doing at her mom's house. At home he talks to his mom about his future after high school, but is uncertain if he can afford university. His mother Yasuko tells him to try his best, and that everything will be alright. The next day Ryuji discovers that Minori has become the new captain of the team, and when Ami arrives later to head to her thinking spot near the vending machines, Minori tells her that her favorite spot is haunted. Minori also tries to tell Ami that she understands her feelings now. Meanwhile, Ryuji argues with his teacher about his career plan, because he isn't able to afford higher education, and he discovers that night that Yasuko has picked up another job to try to help their finances. Teiga later arrives and Ryuji wonders where she had been while she hits him repeatedly. Ryuji tries to offer her food but she refuses while they play with Inko the parrot. Teiga later asks him if he was able to discover Minori's feelings, and she assures him that everything will work out between him and Minori. Teiga later leaves to go to his apartment through his window, and before she leaves Teiga asks him if it was Kitamura that saved her from the blizzard, and Ryuji assures her that it really was Kitamura that night. The class is happy that Teiga has returned to class, but their teacher is concerned that Ryuji still does not plan to go university, and that Teiga seems uninterested in a career path because she is from a rich family. She understands their choices, but asks them to think carefully about their future. Teiga reveals that she has no idea what to do in the future because she barely has an idea of what to do now. She then admits that she wants to discover love first. Ryuji later finds Ami arguing with the school admins, and after she storms out, he follows her and she reveals that she had refused to model for the school. Ami also reveals that she was originally supposed to transfer a while ago, but she stayed at their school to help Teiga. Ryuji then gets a call that Yasuko is sick, so he takes over her jobs to support the family. Teiga tries to prevent him from overworking, but he feels pressured to support his mother because of his family's struggling finances. Teiga then helps him work his mother's shift at the bakery where they sell Valentine's Day candy. While selling candy, they meet their classmates who seem to be concerned about their love lives as well. Teiga then calls Ami to come and help them sell the chocolates because Ami is famous, and after getting recognized, Ami helps them sell lots of chocolates. That night Teiga makes her own chocolate so that the next day she can give homemade chocolate to Ami, Minori, Ryuji, and Kitamura. Teiga thanks Kitamura for rescuing her in the blizzard, and Minori realizes that the boys are lying to Teiga. Ryuji pretends he didn't hear her confession, and Minori angrily confronts him. She reveals that Ryuji was the one to save Teiga, and Minori tries to get Taiga to admit her true feelings. Taiga refuses, but Minori tells her that as her best friend, Taiga should care about her own feelings first, and Taiga runs away. Then Ori and Ryuji decide to chase after her. They try to chase down Taiga before she can leave the school, and Minori tries to apologize to Taiga that she did have feelings for Ryuji, but she knows that Taiga has feelings for him and she wants her best friend to be happy. But they don't make it to Taiga in time and Taiga runs away. Since Minori fell while they were chasing her, Ryuji takes Minori to the nurse's office. Minori tells him that after high school she wants to play softball professionally because her brother used to play, and although softball has been difficult, the struggle has given her the determination to make her keep going. She reveals that she knows he tried to give her a present for Christmas Eve and that she couldn't accept it, and she cheers him on to pursue his own happiness. He later finds Taiga at their shift at the local bakery, and Taiga tells him that she heard Minori confess her feelings, but she wants to talk to him only after they are finished with their shift. After working at the bakery, they meet Yasuko and Taiga's mother, who becomes angry that Taiga ran away. Yasuko also becomes angry that Ryuji is working after promising to focus on studying and preparing for university, but Ryuji argues that he can't ignore the family's dire finances. Ryuji exchanges harsh words with Yasuko, and Taiga takes him to run away. They run to a bridge and Taiga reveals she ran away because her mother has a new husband and another child, and Taiga doesn't feel like she fits in with the new family. She feels the same with her father, so she feels like she doesn't have a family. Ryuji tells her that he feels guilty of robbing his mother Yasuko's freedom because she had to support him as a single mother from a young age. When Ryuji starts to feel depressed, Taiga tells him that she will be by his side, but she accidentally pushes him off the bridge. Ryuji tells her that he wants to run away with Taiga when they finish school, and before he can fully confess to her, Taiga interrupts him by jumping into the river. They later get a call from Kitamura, who is worried about them and was contacted by their parents. They meet at Ami's house where Ami, Minori, and Kitamura take care of them, and Ami gets Ryuji to admit that he is in love with Taiga. Ryuji and Taiga announce their plan to elope together after 2 months, but Ami calls their plan foolish, and that they need to think about their future. Their friends don't agree with their decision, but they each give their own support to Taiga and Ryuji. Taiga and Ryuji later leave with Kitamura, and Ami comforts Minori, who starts crying after their friends leave. Taiga and Ryuji return back to their homes to prepare what they need to run away, but Ryuji finds his mother Yasuko has run away herself, and has left him a note telling him to go to his grandparents' house. The next day the class discovers that Taiga and Ryuji ran away earlier, and did not show up to school, and instead of eloping they have decided to go to Ryuji's grandparents' house. At his grandparents', Ryuji introduces himself, and Taiga as his future bride. Yasuko arrives at Ryuji's grandparents' house, who are her parents Seiji and Sonoko, and they tell her that she raised Ryuji well. Taiga and Ryuji were able to lure Yasuko to the house by faking a voicemail, and bringing the family together allowed Yasuko to reconcile with her parents. That night, Yasuko reveals that Ryuji's father abandoned her while she was pregnant, and that everyone told her not to keep the baby to protect her future. But Yasuko was determined to keep her baby, so she ran away and raised Ryuji alone. She also tells Ryuji she was scared that he would drift apart from her as he grows up, and Ryuji comforts her. Taiga and Ryuji are later embarrassed to share a room together since they told his grandparents they want to get married in the future. And that night Taiga revealed she always knew running away wouldn't work, but she wanted to dream a little. Ryuji wonders if they can still keep their families close by and still share a future together, and that night they share their first kisses. The next morning Ryuji, Taiga, and Yasuko return back to their home city. Taiga then returns to her apartment after missing several calls from her mother. She feels like she needs to fix her life before she can be married to Ryuji, and she leaves a note for him and leaves her apartment. The next day their teacher Yuri tells the class that Taiga has transferred away from their high school, but she wishes their class the best. The class is concerned with Taiga and all text her at once. Then Ori and Kitamura try to comfort Ryuji, who had found Taiga's note at her apartment, and Ryuji wants to give Taiga some space and respect her wishes. Taiga later sends a text of the night sky with a star to everyone in the class, and Minori, who understands Taiga the best, tells the class that Taiga is hoping they will be happy experiencing the same night sky together with her. The class are inspired by Taiga and they take a class photo together to send to Taiga, wishing her luck. 1 year later, the class has their graduation ceremony with all of them pursuing futures after high school. And after the ceremony, Ryuji goes to his classroom to find Taiga hiding in the locker, and he tells her that he loves her. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.